Secret Mom Hacks, episode number 73. My name is Krista and I am your host. It's June 26, 2024, and on today's show, I'm happy to be joined by another mama. Her name is Jenny Goforth Hickerson, and she is an integrative health practitioner and trainer. She's been in the fitness industry since 2001, is a certified personal trainer, group fitness instructor, third-degree black belt, and 2012 world champion in Taekwondo, as well as a former nationally qualified bikini bodybuilder competitor. Wow, so amazing. Throughout her career, she has helped countless clients reach their fitness goals and created thousands of nutrition plans. Out of all of Jenny's accomplishments, however, marrying the love of her life and having her two children are by far her biggest. We had such a fun, enlightening conversation that I cannot wait to share with you today. But before we get into that, I just want to say thanks for tuning in, Mama. I started this podcast because babies don't come with instructions. As of this recording, I am chasing around a almost 6-year-old that no amount of Googling, mom groups, or books were able to prepare me for. There's a lot of stuff people don't talk about when it comes to pre-pregnancy, during pregnancy, postpartum, parenthood, and all that follows. So I am here to help you pull back the curtain on all of it. And every now and then, it may get a little messy. We may share a little TMI, but that's why you're here, right? My goal is you'll leave every episode feeling refreshed, inspired, and hopeful, knowing you're not on this mom journey alone. Now, there's a lot of subject matter to cover when it comes to mom life, and we are covering it all. If you're not following this podcast yet, make sure you hit that follow or subscribe button wherever you listen to podcasts so you don't miss a single episode. Now, let's dive into my chat with Jenny of Goforth Wellness.
Jenny, I'm so excited to have you on Secret Mom Hacks today. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, I'm so excited about this.
Me too. Me too. Tell us a little bit about your kiddos, if you don't mind. If you want to share a brief birth story, that would be great. However much or little you want to share with us.
Yeah, I'd love to. So, my husband and I got married in 2016. We were older. We'd both been married before, and I was actually told I couldn't have kids. All in my 20s and even early 30s. I mean, I just wanted career. And so in my 20s, I nannied and I thought, this is the hardest job I've ever done. Like, I don't know that I want that job down the road. So it wasn't like this, having kids wasn't this desire that I'm not going to be fulfilled if I don't have kids. But there was a piece of me that would see my friends having kids that was sad and thinking about, like, as you get older and your family and that kind of thing. So I think deep down there was a part of me that was like, I really do have that desire. But then I was told I had health issues and that it could be very difficult. So my husband and I got married in 2016. We were pregnant 1 month to the date after we got married. So, surprise, I can have kids. And I was 37 when I got pregnant with my son. So, he's now 6. And then I have my daughter who's 3. So, once we had him and I knew I could have kids, I'm like, let's hurry up and get one more before I get way too old for this. So, we've got our boy and our girl. It's perfect. And I love being a mom so much. Like, it is by far my favorite thing I've ever done. I had no idea. I know this is one of your questions about what surprises you. I had no idea I was going to love it that much. Like, had I known, I would have had way more kids. And I'm glad I'm at this stage where I can enjoy it. And I had all those years of just trying to build my career and do my thing. But I embrace every single day with them. And just, I can't believe like what God did in my life and that I have these 2 beautiful babies and my husband and just have this family that is really secure that they're going to grow up in.
That's beautiful.
I do have a really funny birth story with my son though.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I'll share it. I'll try to make it quick. So being in the health industry and like more holistic, of course, I wanted that natural birth. And my husband and I spent like 13 hours in natural birthing classes. We actually hired a company to come to us and teach us all the things about natural birthing. And I I had a doula, but I was not brave enough to do like a water home birth, and because of my age, I think there was a fear in me that maybe I need to be at a hospital just in case. But I had the doula, had all my tools in place, and my son was late. So I hit 40 weeks and there is zero sign that he's ready. It was dilated at a zero. So I go in almost at, I was 41 and a half weeks, and I was having weekly ultrasounds at that point. And I go in one day and they said, well, your water is gone. It's leaking. So my water never broke. Somehow there was a leak. They said, you have time to go home, shower, pack your bags. You're going to have to come back. We're going to have to induce you. And I still I wasn't dilated at all. So I go home. My parents are in town because they had been in town for a week waiting on him to come. And I'm packing my bags. And I love playing games. I love card games, which is all I did with my parents and my husband while I was pregnant and off work. And I start packing my card games up. And my mom's like, what are you doing? And I said, well, I figured, while I'm in labor, we could like sit around and play cards. She's like, I don't think that's what's going to happen, but you go ahead and pack up your stuff. So in my mind, I thought it was just going to be a vacation. We were going to sit around and just wait for him to come. So I get in, I'm induced, I'm fighting the epidural for 12 hours. Eventually, I got it because I still was dilated at like a 1. And then my doctor comes in and she's like, we're going to try to push this along. And it was very painful. So 24 hours later, and after his heart rate's dropping, I'm exhausted. They come in and they say, you're done. He's done. We're taking you back. But throughout all that pain, I kept saying, is he almost here? Like, how? I didn't even know how far I had to be dilated. And they're like, you're at a 2. I'm like, this is crazy. So 24 hours later, I had a C-section. All was great. And then with my daughter, it was a scheduled planned C-section with her.
Nice. Yes. I share my birth story at the very, like, back on episodes 1, 2, 3. But I can join you in that party of the emergency C-section.
Yes.
And how I've talked about how if we go through this again, probably just going to be a scheduled, just get it on the books because of the stress, all the stress that came along with it.
Very stressful. Yeah. My doctor came to me and she said, now, if you have any more, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you we need to schedule because I think this will happen again. And then, of course, you have my doula who was wonderful and she was there the entire time. She said, you can VBAC, you can. And I'm like, I know, but I don't think I have it in me. We're just going to schedule this thing and no.
Same. I'm with you. I totally am with you on that. Well, thank you for sharing those. Everybody's birth story is different. And at the end of the day, we have our happy, healthy babies. And that's what we want. Well, what's something no one told you about being a mom?
I was not expecting the anxiety that comes with it immediately. Like, I felt like my heart is outside of my body, and more so with the first, I was checking on him every 5 minutes, concerned that something was going to happen in his sleep. And I think that worry and it rolled into like his toddler years. Was he going to fall down the stairs? I had this worry all the time. Like, I feel like you just can't relax. Like, I am on guard. When my kids are here, I have that mom sense where I know what they're doing upstairs. I can hear it a mile away. And I wasn't expecting to feel that. And I wasn't expecting to feel so emotional. Like, I'm not a crier, but you get me talking about my kids and I will just start bawling. Like, I love them so much. So all the emotions was so unexpected for me.
So, Jenny, you are a mom, an integrative health practitioner, and a personal trainer. So you have some unique insights into fostering a healthy and active family lifestyle, which is something I try to talk about a lot here on the podcast because I feel like for me, making healthier choices and focusing on self-care really did not come to me till later in life. Of course, when you're younger, you just have your metabolism is just, you can eat whatever you
Right.
want and it's not a big deal. And then as you get older, you realize,
Things
can't eat
change.
whatever you want anymore. And yeah, how our bodies change. So these are all kind of revelations that came to me later in life. It's been really important to me to speak those into our family and like really try to model those behaviors for our daughter, and my husband and I
Yeah.
really being partners in eating healthy and just being active and everything. So, can you share some strategies for integrating health and fitness into daily routines? Maybe what you talk about your clients with in that regard?
Yeah, definitely. So my kids just know that that's a part of life. Like we are going to move our bodies, whether we go to the gym and they go to the childcare at the gym, or we have a gym in our home. Like they know that that is what we're going to do. And as far as I would say, nutrition is the most common question I get from families and from women that I work with. Women primarily are doing the grocery shopping and the cooking and that kind of thing. And I really strive for them to look at ingredients because there's junk and there's crap in the kids' foods. And I always think like, and I fell into this as a mom of buying the kids' snacks and not paying attention to what was in it until I got home. And then I'm like, oh, that's really bad. And then I got to thinking, why do we have to eat different than what our kids, why are we buying kids snacks? And then as a mom, it's really hard to stay away from that too, because you're busy and you might skip meals and you might just grab what they're eating, and it's crap food. It's not doing their body any justice. So in our house, we look at ingredients. We are not perfect by no means, but the kids eat what we eat. And we also explain to them without making them self-conscious about weight, but we explain to them like what healthy means and why we need to be healthy. And they actually see a difference when they bring home the candy from school. They see a difference in how they feel because they typically don't eat that kind of stuff. And then we see it, especially with my 3-year-old. If the girl has candy, she is throwing some crazy tantrums. And that's a pattern I noticed right away because I was way more lenient with my second and what she was eating. I don't think my son had sugar for like the first 3 years of his life. And then my daughter came and I'm like, here, eat this candy. And I started seeing what happens. And they're aware of how they feel. So we have talks like at the dinner table, their favorite food's macaroni, and they get macaroni, and I try to buy the best that I can, but they have to eat their protein first. They know what a protein looks like. And they are excited because I also use them in the kitchen. And that's one of my biggest tips is just to include them, talk to them. They're smart little people, and my kids love to make smoothies with me, and my daughter now, she loves to cook with me. And so just involving them in that process, and then they're excited about eating what they just made. All of those are tips that I give because it shouldn't be when I have a woman come to me and she wants to lose weight and she wants to get her energy back, it's not just her, it's the family. And most of the time, there are behavioral issues happening when the kids are eating too much of the junk. And a lot of parents don't even see it till they pull it. So we try to buy as healthy. And I've done a couple different things with their snacks. I've planned boxes that they can eat out of because kids are always going to the pantry. I don't know about yours, but it's
Yes.
all day. And so they know where their snacks are that they can have. And again, we try to keep it, as much as possible. We try to keep the fruits and the veggies they like to snack on, the hummus and the smoothies. We're on a big smoothie kick right now. But it really is the whole family. But it does start with the mother making those changes and not necessarily always cooking something different for the kids. And I know there's picky eaters. I have picky eaters, but my kids know this is what we made tonight. This is your choice to eat. Or to not
Sure.
eat. And when they tell me, my son especially, he is a meat eater, big protein eater, not so much the veggies, but I make him try like 5 bites. And if you still don't like it after 5 bites, like you're still wanting to go throw it in the trash can, then that's okay. But you got to give me 5 tries. They know the rules.
Yes. When it comes to picky eaters, or perhaps there's different conflicting dietary preferences, or maybe if there's an allergy, whatever it may be, what are some practical tips for creating nutritious and enjoyable meals for the family that everyone can enjoy.
Yeah. Like I said, I would involve them. So every morning, especially my daughter, she's my healthy eater, but we make smoothies and I let them pick everything they're going to put in it. And I would say variety, try different things. Because one thing I didn't know my son loved was like chicken legs, which grossed me out, but he's such a good protein eater. And so now I'm like more, yeah, I do buy the things I know that he's going to eat, but I involve them. So their smoothies is number one. If you can, and this is goes for women, especially busy moms, if you can start your day with a smoothie, because for women, you can add all the protein you need. You can add the berries, which are great antioxidants, your collagen, all the things can go in that one smoothie to get your digestive system woken up. And the kids are the same. So, with my kids, and especially with breakfast, they love pancakes, they love muffins. I would always recommend a protein with it. So they don't just get oatmeal or just get that muffin. I do allow things like that, but that protein is important. It's important for them too. So starting the day with protein, involving them in making those smoothies is huge. And then with my
Sure.
one-on-one clients, because I primarily work with women, I have an app where I set up how much they need to eat based on their goals. So I set up all their fats, proteins, carbs. If they're working with me one-on-one, then we go into their allergies and what their likes and dislikes, and I actually set a whole plan for them. But I put so much variety in the meals because I know that, I'm not going to tell a mom just to sit there and eat just ground meat and rice and then your kids have to eat that every day. So I have recipes in my database, and because I know it's life and you have goals, there is a way to still meet your goals and include your family in that as well.
Now, let's take a quick break. Hey, Secret Mom hackers. Are you a budget savvy family looking for a financial tool that can help you take control of your spending and savings? Well, I've got something fantastic to share with you. Cube Money. Cube Money is the ultimate budgeting solution that's tailor-made for families who want to manage their money with ease and precision. Here's why our family loves it. It's just like the envelope system we all know, but digitized. Imagine the simplicity of old school envelope budgeting, but with a modern twist. Cube Money digitizes the envelope system, allowing you to allocate funds to specific spending categories right from your smartphone. It's like having a set of virtual envelopes for groceries, entertainment, and more, all in one app. The whole family benefits. Cube Money isn't just for individuals. It's designed to accommodate the needs of your entire family. You can set up sub-accounts for your spouse and kids, helping everyone stay on the same financial page. It's a powerful tool for teaching financial responsibility to your children. Stress-free savings. Planning for the future is a breeze with Cube Money. You can easily allocate funds for savings goals, whether it's a family vacation, a new home, or an emergency fund. It's all about turning your financial dreams into reality. So if you're ready to simplify your family's budgeting, track your spending with precision, and achieve your financial goals, give Cube Money a try. Visit their website at Cube Money to learn more. That's QUBE money.com to learn more and use the discount code SECRETMOMHACKS, all one word, SECRETMOMHACKS, to get 2 months of their premium or family plans for free. Cube Money, on a mission to see you live more and worry less. Try Cube Money today. Now back to the show.
Sure. I like that. And especially if the kids are having a say in what it is they're fixing, then it's like, okay, they're already naturally on board
Right.
because they're excited about it. They had their voice was included.
Right. And we eat pretty clean throughout the week. Friday nights is our pizza and ice cream night, and that's our family movie night, and they look forward to it every single week. And we try to get the healthier, the Halo Top ice cream, which they love. And sometimes we make our own pizzas. Sometimes I just buy it, but it's good to show them too. Like with them, I never want them to feel like, oh, we can't go to a restaurant or I can't have that. So we're just teaching them what it's like to live a healthy lifestyle so that hopefully this translates into their adult lives.
As a personal trainer, and you did talk about your app. So before we move on to this next question, let's tell everyone about your app. And of course, I'll include this at the very end. Different ways that people can find you across socials, your website, all of that. But let's specifically talk about your app. Do you mind to share a little bit more about what it is and how it works and how everyone can find that?
Yeah, I'd love to. So I'll tell a little backstory on how the app and the company came about. And I'll try to make this quick. But when I had my daughter in 2020, I got extremely sick after. And I came from a martial arts background, a bodybuilding background. So I was always very, very fit. Even after my son, I was able to get that body back. And everyone told me, oh, you're a trainer, you'll get your body back. And so after I had her, I was swollen for months. And even 2.5 years, I dealt with a lot of inflammation to where I looked 9 months pregnant everywhere I went, which is a hard pill to swallow as a personal trainer. Literally everywhere I went, someone would ask me when I'm due. And I'm like, oh, well, my daughter's 14 months now. Like, I didn't just have her. And I was trying all the things I knew and just hitting a wall. Could not figure out my body. And that led me into, of course, a depression because when you're sick and you don't feel like yourself, I couldn't work out. I didn't have the energy. I literally turned from being super fit, awesome, like energy to feeling like an 80-year-old woman. And I kept thinking something must have happened in this birth. And went back, had all the tests done, all the blood work done, everything was showing up fine. Well, I found a doctor that was able to finally help me, and I had some labs ran. My metal mineral lab was horrible. It was through the roof. And I started working with a practitioner. I ended up getting to the root of what my issues were. And when that happened and when I kind of came out on the other side, I literally woke up a new person. I had I was goal driven again. And I knew that there are so many women, they might not have the same issues that I had health wise, but there's so many women that are walking around not knowing why they feel bad. Their blood work's showing up fine. They have no energy. They're not showing up as the mom they want to be and the woman they want to be. And I had a brand new passion for helping them, not just with workouts and nutrition and getting them in shape, because I was doing all the things I knew to do. I was eating 100% clean. I was working out when I could get enough energy to get up and do something. And I couldn't figure out my health. There was something deeper happening that needed to be addressed. And I think a lot of women are that way. So I had surgery from the root issues, woke up a new person, and I went back to school to be an integrative health practitioner because that's the person that had helped me through it all. So with my clients, I created Goforth Wellness. It's a whole wellness company. I have exercises. My first love is group fitness and workouts and that style of training. And I have the nutrition because that's a massive piece that could be all a woman needs to do to get her energy back up. But then I can run labs to get to the root of why they are feeling bad. And even if your blood work is showing, there might be a deeper thing that we need to look at, like your thyroid, your cortisol, your heavy metals. So I, with my one-on-one clients, can run those kind of labs to truly get them on track and feeling the way that you should feel. So that was the hardest thing for me is after I had my daughter feeling that bad and knowing I want to be this awesome mom and I just can't get this figured out. So it is my mission to help people get healthy from the inside out. And it's not just about when I created my company, I wasn't the shredded up bodybuilder anymore because I'd been through almost 3 years of an illness that took a toll on my body. So, of course, I had those doubts in my mind creating this company of, will women want to work with me? Will they trust me? And I'm along on the journey just with all of my clients. And it's been such a blessing to start this app. But I am virtual. It's Go Forth Wellness. And I have different programs. So I have a subscription-based program where you get so much content each month, truly for the soul. So I have meditations, affirmations, workouts that come out monthly, and then you have your macros set up for you in the system along with a recipe database. And then with my one-on-one clients, like I said, we dive deeper into that individual. So all the programming is bio individual.
That's so cool. Okay. So Jenny, so they can go to goforthwellness.com to learn more about the app and the different options within it and how everything works, right?
Right. Yep.
Awesome.
You
That's so
got your
cool.
trainer in your back pocket. And there's 24/7 messaging. So I have my clients check in with me weekly, and that's how I know where I need to adjust those macros. And then if there's any questions, we also have a group support. And that's been really awesome because these women are all over the US and they are connecting in our VIP group. So that's been really cool to watch as well.
Very, very cool. Yes. Well, and I have not used your program. I do have to say though, just in terms of macros, when you start throwing that out, as someone who, again, I don't have a background in health, I don't have a background in fitness or medicine or anything like that, just within the last couple of years, as I'd mentioned, I've just gotten a little more aware of my health and my nutrition and, setting goals for myself. And around the time we met, I was the heaviest I had been outside of being pregnant. And I had lost a little weight prior to that, but it was like, up and down, up and down. And then a friend had mentioned, you may really want to look at your macros. And I was like, what the heck is she talking about? And I started going down that path and exploring it further. And then when I really started making an effort to be conscious of my macros and like, oh, maybe I'm not eating the right calories, like I'm not focusing on the right calories, that's when a switch flipped, I guess you would say. And over the course of the last year, I've lost like 25 pounds. But it's been really focusing on protein and focusing on the right macros, having that right formulation and being active because it all has to go hand in hand. I have no doubt your program is phenomenal. And just having somebody to walk side by side with you and help you adjust that. Because again, as someone who I kind of have just figured it out on my own, and I never want to say I've figured it out, but I've figured out what's worked for me.
For you,
Everybody's body's different, but I could certainly see the value in having someone, especially on a weekly basis, looking at things with you and providing you with meal plans and giving you different workouts and physical activity assignments to do. No doubt your clients are seeing great progress.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it's been amazing this past year, just growing it and the transformations. What I love, I have a lot of weight loss transformations and they look phenomenal. But what I love is I've helped people beat diabetes. I've helped them get off their blood pressure medication. And like I have people in their 30s and 40s telling me I've never had this kind of energy. So those are the things that really excite me when I see, especially with a woman, when I see they come to me and they're tired and they are foggy all the time and then they just have like a new zest for life and a new confidence that rolls over into other areas of their life. But I want to say you are looking phenomenal and I love following your running journey and just like everything you're doing
Thank you.
online.
Thank you.
And I know like nutrition can be intimidating and there's so much noise out there. You need to do this diet or that product. And there's so much that can work, but that's why I like to talk to someone about like, where are you? Because what's working for this person over here, what worked for me in my bodybuilding days does not work anymore. And as you get older, your body changes, your hormones change. So I try to simplify everything as much as possible because I am in the same boat now. When I was a trainer and I was not a mom and I worked with moms, I had no clue. But my whole mindset shifted when I became a mom because I realized like, man, this is hard and it is tiring and you have to take care of yourself in a different way because you're always taking care of other people. So one piece of advice I would give to moms is to take time for you, even if it's 10 minutes, 30 minutes. If you can get an hour, awesome. But take some time just for you, even if it's just for you to sip tea and sit. I'm not saying you have to get up and go run and that's your you time, and maybe it is. I love the outdoors. I love to walk or run outside. But if you can just get 10 minutes just to think, just to have time for you, that will make a big difference in your day.
Absolutely. Well, as a personal trainer, you work with we've talked about this. Everybody's at different levels, and just we're all comprised very, very differently, different levels and abilities. So how is it that you tailor your training approach to meet the individual needs and goals of each client?
Yeah, so it depends on what it is they're looking for. I have some that want more muscle, they want that bikini body. I know how to achieve that. Most of my clients are weight loss and they just need energy. That's just a huge thing. So we take a look into where they are right now with their health, and that's our starting point. So if their calories are way under, then we need to try to rev up their metabolism. And I would say most moms are not eating enough. There's a lot of noise about intermittent fasting, which can be an amazing tool, but if you're always fasting and then you're not breaking the fast the right way, there's a lot of confusion, a lot of things that can happen hormonally, especially with women. So I look at where they are. A lot of times I start with a liver detox because there's so many toxins that we're surrounded by in our environment. There's internal toxins that maybe have been there for a while. And we do a either 7, 14, or 21 day liver detox, functional medicine. And that kind of opens up the pathways to receive the good nutrition and the plan that we're going to set forth. So the majority of my clients, and again, it depends on if they're on medications or what their health looks like. Most of them are going to start with a good detox. And then we go from there. But I like to look at what they've been doing to kind of set the mark, because if someone's only eating 1,000 calories, but they really should be eating 18 to 1900, I'm not just the next week going to make them eat that much. Their stomach and their gut is not going to handle it. So then we gradually get it up and we gradually rev up their metabolism so they start burning more.
Got it. Fascinating. Well, what are some common misconceptions or myths about health and fitness that you encounter, and how do you debunk them to help your clients make informed choices?
Yeah. I think a big one is too much cardio. More women need strength training, and that's actually going to get you the body you want. It's going to help you lean down when you are focused on strength training. Cardio is great and you need that too. But a lot of women are overdoing it. That can work in the beginning and then your body will get used to it. But that strength training is going to help you overall reduce. And a lot of women, including myself, will get stuck on a number on the scale. That number is not the end all be all. You might get to that number and still not like the way that you look. So I try to get my women to take pictures every week, because pictures are way more telling than the number on the scale.
Yes, nutrition and strength
Mhm.
training.
Yeah.
So for those like myself who you're not that I don't feel like hitting having a step goal every day. That's not a bad thing. But don't ignore the strength.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't ignore the strength side of it.
Yep.
Okay. Well, Jenny, how do you keep it all together?
Most days I feel like I don't, but I take it day by day. I think preparation is key, especially if we're talking health, we're talking nutrition and your workouts and all of that. You have to have a plan. And the most preparation that you can have the day before will set you up for success. A lot of times when I feel like I am scattered and I'm off track, my house is a wreck, and I know everybody's been there, and then there's nothing in the fridge to make. So you end up just going out, preparing ahead of time and getting super, super organized. That's something that in January was a big goal of mine, is to stay on top of the laundry every day and not get overwhelmed in those areas. Because when my house is not clean, I'm a perfectionist, and when things are out of sorts, it gets everything else. I feel like my business is not organized, and My health is, I'm kind of just working out whenever without a plan, but having a plan, planning ahead with nutrition. I like to track everything in my app ahead of time. So I'll enter everything in the night before so that there's not a situation where I'm getting to the end of the day and I still have 500 calories to eat, or I'm like extremely low on my protein and you don't want to just hurry up and eat all that right before bed. So preparing, even with the kids, getting their meals packed, and it takes some extra work to do that. But the more prep, like how good does it feel to wake up and the kids' lunches are already done, their clothes are laid out, my workout's already done, everything's entered in my app. That's a perfect world. But when things are in order, it really helps reduce that stress.
100% agree.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't feel like, there are days that I'm looking and I've got 10 loads of laundry to fold and I'm like, no, I failed again. But just taking that time, to get organized just in your life, because when one thing is out of sort, everything else is going to be out of sort.
What is one tip or trick or piece of advice you'd share with another mom right now?
I would say don't be so hard on yourself. Give yourself grace. If you are in a season that you are extremely stressed, work on just reducing that stress. Don't feel like you have to go outside and run, or you have to do something that's going to put your body in more stress. But give your body grace, because being a mom is hard work, and just recognize that, and embrace the things that you can take control of. But like I said earlier, try to take at least 10 minutes for you. That would be my biggest piece of advice, is make sure that you're reducing that stress and you're calming your mind as much as you can on a daily basis. I used to be focused on the outer and what I looked like. And I think with mom, giving your body grace, even if it takes you a year or 2 years after having a baby, don't compare yourself to others. And I did that mostly comparing myself to myself from before. I lived in a state of, I'll never look like that again, or just kind of a depression looking back. But now I'm like, what? My body did some amazing things. And one thing that shifted my weight after I went through my surgery and my health scare and all of that, I still was holding a lot of weight. But one thing that really helped me reduce the weight is embracing where I am right now. Just embracing the journey, embracing the craziness that might be happening, and looking in the mirror. And this was hard for me to do because I felt like I hated my stomach and I hated the weight that I was carrying. But looking in the mirror and loving what your body did. You've birthed children. That is massive. And not being hard on that. And I may never be a bodybuilder again, and that's okay. But being strong, being healthy, being able to run at the park with my kids means more to me than being shredded to pieces. So I would say love your body and embrace exactly where you are. And you might have to do that on a daily basis, because you might look again, and making sure that you're not speaking those things. I spoke those things out loud many times. I'm sure my kids were around where I was like, oh, my stomach, it's so bloated, or my pants, and, complaining, and really catching myself not to do that, and just to love my body. I might not be where I want to be, but I'm going to embrace where I am today, and I'm going to keep getting better every single day.
Well, that's a wrap for today's conversation with Jenny. If you enjoyed our chat, make sure you check out all the things she's up to. You can find links to learn more about her and connect with her socially in today's show notes at secretmomhacks.com/episode 73. I'm curious what your favorite part of our interview was. I hope you're walking away inspired with tips either for yourself or that new mom you know. If that's the case, please follow me on your favorite podcast platform if you haven't already. Give me a 5-star rating and leave a review sharing your favorite takeaway so far. You can do all of that by going to ratethispodcast.com/secretmomhacks. Don't forget to stop by secretmomhacks.com, where you can find transcripts, resources, and more. Make sure you enter your email address over there and subscribe for free so every episode is delivered straight to your inbox. Stay tuned for next week's episode, and until then, you've got this, mama.